Hello everyone and welcome to the first Winners Round 3 match of the Mystery Tournament bracket. I am joined today by Sky on commentary and we will be seeing Gomola Speed. This is a TurboGrafx game that I can only describe as like Snake meets Pokemon Ranger. I know this one, Sky knows the next game, and if it goes to a third game, neither of us will know it, so we'll see what happens.
It should be very interesting. But yeah, Snake meets Pokemon Ranger. I see what you mean by it.
Yeah, so
It's
you're the, like, I assume that's a Gomola. You're the, like, main robot thing, and you have to collect, like, other parts, and then circle food objects. Apparently they're food. So, yeah, you have to collect all of the food to reach the goal, but you have a bomb that you can use to stun enemies, and then if you circle an enemy, it'll destroy it. And also there are, like, keys to collect and a couple of other things. There's also a few stages that act a little bit differently. I didn't play it, but I watched a few of the stages, not all of them. So there are some stages that are different, and we'll see how those play out when we get to them. They do still have a few minutes before they need to ready up. Oh, the other thing I didn't notice, if an enemy hits your snake partway along, it will disconnect. And you have to go back and pick up the other pieces again. And you can't enter the, like, stage exit unless all of your pieces have been reformed.
So you have to be whole in order to leave.
Yeah.
That seems easy enough to understand.
Yeah, it's a pretty, like, basic concept for a puzzle game, but also a pretty interesting puzzle action game. I say puzzle. Puzzle is a little bit generous.
It's a game at the very least.
So we have no audio at the moment, by the way. There's just, for some reason, no audio on the demo or intro screen. There will be once the stage begins, I hope. Also, I love Vi's layout of I was not prepared for a game window this narrow.
Oh, I just noticed it now. Just
It's just in the middle of the screen. It looks like a buffer between the two, but yeah, no, that's on that is on Vi's end.
To be fair, it does make a really nice buffer between the two.
Yeah, we do have a slight desync on the timers. That'll happen. I
Yeah,
might refresh the streams if it gets too bad, but
music does sound really cool.
so the first stage is just almost tutorial. And there's... Oh. Don't let the head get hit, I guess. You can see what happens there if it hits the tail as well. I guess that enemy spins around and just, like, dashes at you.
Whatever it's doing, it's not nice.
The one thing that's worth noting, and we'll see how long it takes them to figure it out. When you're, like, running in circles, so you see on Wyrm's side there, he's pushing the object kind of into the corner. If you just circle next to it and the object is just kind of touching the circle, that's enough. That's good enough to collect it.
It doesn't need to be perfect.
Right. You don't need to be in the middle of it. You need to circle while pushing it, and that's enough. So via the first one through Act 1, their goal is to get to the end of Act 11 here.
And if they do fail and run out of... if they run out of continues?
I think it's, yeah, 3 lives, 3 credits, and if you run out, there's a level select password system that
Yeah.
they can use.
I love on the paste bin it says passwords in case you didn't write them down like some dumb testers.
The paste bins are incredible for these. The
Yeah.
testers for the tournament that we got these from are pretty incredible. One of my favorites was one about like, don't do this or you are big dumb. Testers did this, we are big dumb.
Yeah, I feel like they're picking up the mechanics of the game quite quickly.
Yeah. The basics are... And again, the basics of the game like this are not super difficult, but they're just enough that you have to actually kind of plan out a route, and also you have to grasp mechanics reasonably quickly, even if it's not difficult to understand them, but doing them effectively is the challenge. You know, we can see them not using the bombs to stun these enemies. You can stun enemies.
Yeah. What else does the paste bin say? B1 makes bombs to stun enemies. B2 makes you go fast.
I assume their movement is mostly them going fast, but... Okay, so Wyrm on to stage 3, by the way, and this one's an interesting one. So Rob just picks up all the pieces, and nothing happens. We'll see how long it takes Wyrm to figure this one out. This could be the kind of thing that takes them a little while.
Yeah, like those walls look like they could be exploded.
Not bombable.
No.
But I think Wyrm's going to stumble on the answer here. Oh no, no, went the wrong way.
Oh!
So if you circle an area and backing up, like doubling back, counts as circling an area. If you circle an area, it uncovers the blocks in that area.
Oh, that is so cool.
And there are enemies under there, which will then get unleashed, but there is also another food item that you need to get under the stage.
That is quite cool. Like...
Oh, that's it. That's the thing that Wyrm needed. So if Wyrm starts collecting these, the exit will appear.
Is that all of the food that they need to reveal, or...?
Yeah, there's just the one thing that splits into more objects, and that's it. Also, they, I think, are planning to do all 3 if needed. At the very least, we've got 2 rolled. We don't have the 3rd one set up just yet, but we can do that at a moment's notice if the game's needed. And obviously, like, Wyrm here, clearing out the stage. In theory, you're like, okay, well, what if I need to find more things? But...
if you need to find more things, you could just collect all the things first.
And it runs the risk of unleashing enemies.
Yeah. You see enemies, so you should be careful of them. Vi has made it to that same stage, though.
Okay. Collected all the food and is now just looking for the solution.
Yeah.
And there's the circles.
As seen. Yep, there we go. Now I think they've realised.
Yeah, and he's just tearing up this stage looking for something, anything. The 1-up's also, of course, nice to have just to avoid that continue screen a little bit longer. Like, yeah, we have passwords so you don't lose as much from dying, but You're still losing some time from that.
Yeah, it's a little slow, but you know, it's having those one-ups would be useful. And well, we now know where the goal end is, as Wyrm is entering stage 4.
This music feels like an old, like, kids' TV show.
I can agree with you there, yeah. It
It's
does sound
like-
quite...
Alright, so not much difference between them still. I know Vi was definitely... Oh? Did Wyrm already... Do we have different Act 4s? What?
What?
I'm confused.
They both say Act 4.
Interesting. Yeah? No, I guess... That's a thing? Like I say, I didn't play the game, I watched a playthrough of it. The Act 4 that I saw was the one that Wyrm has.
So, Vi potentially has...
I don't even know. I assume they're just it's the same... It's the same game, they're getting a hold of it in the same place, so it shouldn't do anything. What does Hyper Energy State do?
I think it turns your entire body into a bomb.
Oh,
so if
yeah.
you run into enemies.
Giant hitbot.
Yeah.
Oh. That bomb. Catching one of them. The problem obviously being that in order to stun things, you usually end up having to get close enough to get hit by them as well. I also don't think Vi's realised that they can circle the enemies once they've been bombed to completely kill them. Because they've bombed quite a few of the enemies, but they've not tried to... Okay, well, we've got the same Act 5 at least.
Act 5, yeah. Maybe... What?
Just an enemy spawning out of nowhere, I guess? Oh, the enemies move. They, like, hop across the ground.
Yeah.
That's and Vi just got there at, like, the worst possible time.
Yeah. Yeah, those enemies are sort of... In a way, it's sort of like a pulse motion.
I do think it's interesting getting, like, a turbo graphics game in this tournament, because, like, how many of these people do you think have ever played any turbo graphics game, let alone this one?
I don't know. I don't even know what turbo graphics are. What kind of games they are?
Old PC Engine console from, like, the 80s, I want to say?
Yeah, that's way before my time. Like, I would not know anything.
Oh, one makes it through to 6, and I think just needs the exit now.
I think missing
Oh,
a
no,
food.
one up there, yeah.
There we go. Now you can get the exit.
And the exit appears... Where? Up there.
There it is. The music sounds a bit like early Sonic music, if I'm being honest.
I can kind of see it. Yeah. A maze like this with enemies is definitely gonna need some careful bombing, I think.
Yeah. Just a maze in general.
Just at some point gonna have to get through these gaps and... Oh? I just kind of pushing their way through Wyrm. I think did... Oh, is that a...
Is that a boss fight?
I guess that's a boss fight? Well, that just made this stage a little more interesting, difficult. Okay, I didn't get insta-kill, which is, Oh, does get sniped by that one, though. So they're 1-1 on the deaths, but Wyrm had to continue, which means redoing the entire stage, including picking up all the pieces.
Whereas Vi is just lucky to not be having to do that. I think has all the pieces.
Oh no, it was that Wyrm. Okay, it was that Wyrm broke as he got hit, and so the other pieces were in the boss chamber still.
Oof.
Which actually makes the navigation here a little easier because he just has to get through with this like 2 chain as opposed to the full combo that Vi had there. Okay, got a stun, but how are you gonna circle these?
Yeah.
I guess you've gotta like stun the... I'm gonna call them Whalmer.
Oh, I think Vi's now realised you can circle
there we
them.
go. But yeah, that is going to be big progress for the upcoming stages, and also puts them in the lead on this stage. Also, Wyrm there using up the first continue and has to go through the password system, so we're seeing that this is pretty slow and does leave you... Oh, that didn't work? Okay, hold on. Robot, Ninja Kid, Star... Robot, Ninja Kid, Robot, Star, Dragon is what we want to see. I assume Ninja Kid is the red thing.
Oh
wait, no, Act 6, sorry. Robot, Mutron, Star, Robot, and the Mutron are the, like, white robot things. So yeah, one back in, and... Oh, I had to continue there, so...
Yeah. And it looks like continues also, you keep your progress anyway, it's as if you just get 3 lives. So we could say that both runners have effectively 9 lives to get through the game.
Yeah.
Don't know if that enemy...
Oh, put the bomb there and the enemy just ran off.
Yeah.
Okay, just
run
past it, I guess. But all the whales have respawned.
Yeah. Game's not that nice, unfortunately. As long as your head doesn't get hit, you're fine.
The problem being, like, you still need to stay formed, because then putting down all of these bombs, when one of them does connect, well, you need to be able to actually eat the whales, which...
Yeah. You need everything for.
That chain reaction I thought was gonna just about...
Yeah.
Like, chain of bombs, I thought it would just about clip one of them, but not quite. So while I'm in the same position of throwing down a bunch of bombs, but takes another death.
Yeah.
Oh, and Vi takes another death as well. A reminder, by the way, this is Act 6, and their goal is to be Act 11. So I almost wonder if every 5 stages is going to be a boss fight, excluding Act 1.
Because Act 1 is learning the game.
Essentially a tutorial, yeah. So it'll be ending on a boss fight as well.
Ooh.
Oh, Vi just about grabbing one of them there.
You have time to get a second one.
That started flickering away there.
Yeah,
and they
Vi
failed
just
on it,
not risking it.
I think the right call there. It looked like it was starting to flicker back.
Sometimes you take the risk, sometimes you know the risk is just not worth it.
Yeah, I honestly think like mystery game stuff in general, the kind of risk-reward assessment is one of the best skills to have. Like, knowing when you should take a risk is going to be more helpful than actually being good at the games.
Just like then, when Vi saw it flickering even more, didn't try and get ahead, just...
Right, like, I definitely think there was a world where I could have got that one, maybe. But not got... I think going for 2 in a row is too greedy, for sure.
Yeah, based on the boss, on the patterns and the timing, yeah, I can agree with that. I think Vi...
Oh, that bomb was so well timed!
That was a beautiful time.
Alright, no whales. Oh, and that's it!
Yeah, that's it! You just need to get all the whales. That's easy.
Cutscenes?
Well, you say easy, but it's...
Oh, Jesus. Okay, cool. Oh, hello? That thing is, pretty fast. So I wonder now, though, now that we've seen Vi fighting that boss and circling the whales, I wonder if we'll see a bit more trying to circle these enemies. No? Doesn't look like they want to go for it there. And I think taking out that enemy is going to be pretty integral. Like, I don't think you would need to beat it, like, to kill it to beat the stage. But it's just going to be such a massive buff if you do.
I want to be on the camp that maybe it might be required. And if it is required, then that's going to be evil.
I don't know, I think the only part that will matter is collecting all the food. And you're able to do that without killing that enemy, but with it chasing you down the whole time, it's... I guess it's not chasing right now because it's out of range.
Well, you don't need to.
Just needs the exit now.
Just needs to run.
That is not a good place. Oh, Alright, one with one whale going for... Oh, no, okay.
It's nice that you also get to hear when it's going to... when it's about to respawn.
Oh, is that enough? Oh, that is. Perfect.
That is.
The other one just perfectly walking into the firing line for that. So is Vi just going to keep using the bombs to keep this, like, stunned down, basically? Oh, one managing a fine line on that one and does, in fact, pick up the whale there. Despite missing a part.
They do look like whalers.
They really do, right?
Like on Vi's end, I see rocks. Maybe they're Geodudes. But yeah, like we've got Whalmers circling. What's that? A Ludicolo or a Yoshi?
I was gonna say, you've not played Slay the Spire either, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay, the robot that you're playing at looks like the defect from Slay the Spire to me.
Uh,
Like, just the head of it, but yeah.
the Pokemon Ranger comparison was made, yeah.
Just the defect collecting Whalmers. Right, Wyrm being chased down there, but... Oh, Wyrm being chased the whole way there. Neither of them are trying to eat the enemies, and that's really, really surprising to me. Given that the game almost, like, forces you to do it for the boss, but I guess maybe they figured it was exclusive to that boss.
Yeah, like, eating enemies is slow. Yes, it makes the gameplay a lot safer, but it's slow and potentially risky.
I mean, I guess, but, like, dying is slower. Especially with these things, the, like, enemies that are, like, homing on Wyrm's side, it's just... Like, both of them, both the big one and the smaller rock things. I'm getting clipped by one of the rock and roller there.
They do look like rock and rollers.
That was the best comparison I could think of. I was like, you said about them being rocks, and I was like, okay, but it's not Geodude. It's like, no, rock and roller? Rock and roller. That's...
Rock and roller.
Oh, Vi now a full act ahead, though.
Yeah,
Act
2? Act 10.
I was only on 8. I feel like I just missed this one entirely. Oh, okay, no, I did see it. I just kind of blanked it from my mind.
Is it possible that certain stages are pseudo-randomized?
I don't
as well
think so, but that would explain the Act 4 thing earlier.
Like, obviously Act 6 in this case is going to be the same one because it's, it's a boss stage. Those plans are...
Oh no, one back to the title screen as well.
Oh no.
Went a little too close to the enemy as it unfroze. I think it's interesting. I think they're both having the same sort of struggles with this game, but Wyrm is running into it a lot more aggressively and is getting hit on the head more often as a result, which is a death, which means more continues, which means more title screen.
Whereas
and there's Vi's first continue at the same time as Wyrm's second. Vi was on Act 10 there, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Wyrm put in the wrong command. I think we'll see a reset. Yep, reset back to do Act 8. But yeah, Vi was on Act 10 here, and the final goal is Act 11. We're very close.
We might be moving on to Game 2 quite quickly.
Oh. Having a few difficulties with the commands on both ends. Ninja Kid, Robot, Neutron, the white alien thing. Dragon Ninja Kid? It says Ninja Kid in the paste bin, but I can only see it as a Shy Guy.
Yeah, I can see that. I like how Vi's taking things a bit more cautiously because of these, what I can only assume are tentacruels.
Yeah, these enemies are pretty obnoxious from the looks of things. Just the kind of ambushing you from the walls, and I guess you just have to bomb a bunch of the places around. Yep, okay, that was a bombable block, I guess. I don't know how you were meant to see that, but apparently it was.
It looks different to the other blocks, so you know, it's. But at the same time, yes, it can be a bit difficult seeing.
The one that Vi blew up there,
Hmm.
in the top path, there was a block 2 below it. Kind of the bottom right block in the top left corner. That is identical. It looks exactly the same from where I'm standing.
Fair. What? How did Vi die there? We'll admit they do look very similar blocks.
Yeah, like, I guess it's just, like, where the cracks are on the blocks that determines whether they'll break or not. Oh, well, I'm just headfirst into, That's a Metroid enemy. There's no way that's not a Metroid enemy.
Oh wait, which one's the metro? Oh, the
On Wyrm's side, the, like, crab thing in this area. It's like halfway between. It's like if Octoroks were a Metroid enemy, I guess is the fairer way to put it.
So a Krabby or a Kinglia.
But like, definitely more. I don't know, alien.
Yeah, I get the alien idea. It does look quite. What if Octoroks and what's it called?
Wyrm is really not using these bombs, by the way. Just
The longer your worm is, the longer the chain is, the harder it is to use a bomb. So...
Oh sure, but there's no way you get through here without it. These enemies are in such narrow corridors. You need to be, even if it's just run into the edge of the corridor, throw down 3 bombs, and then just like hope one. There we go. Yeah, well, I'm doing exactly that now. Just getting into range, throwing down a bunch of bombs, so that it stuns the enemy for long enough to get through. Like, you don't need to be precise. Oh no. Okay, Vi, on to Act 11. This is our final. Oh, and yeah, sure enough, it is a boss fight.
Oh wow.
Oh, wait, whoa, wait, there are multiple runes?
Wait.
You have a way to shoot things? Circle the green blob, and you'll get the ability to shoot.
it also looks like those pulsing enemies, the blue ones that just pulse in and out, they look to be indestructible.
That makes sense. That, I guess, adds up. Vi's still not going for any attempt to kill the enemies there either.
Hmm.
They definitely had a very good opportunity at that point. Could have tried. Okay, yeah, no, there is no way to know which ones are bombable and which ones aren't.
Yeah, that one I couldn't tell either. Like, it's that hard. You know, I guess randomly guess.
I just really want to see one of them eat an enemy before it's done.
An enemy that isn't a boss.
Yeah. Alright, we are back to Act 9 on the Wyrm side, so... Oh! Vi running into, I think, their own bomb more than the enemy there?
Oh,
but can now shoot!
Wonder how much health this boss has.
Okay, first hit on the core. And it is...
And then you...
Oh, wow. Okay. Sure.
That is...
So now, time to start eating the parts of the robot.
Yeah.
Or the core itself, I guess? That's... I feel like it's got to be the robot parts more than the core.
I don't know. Like, that's my...
The core is smaller, but...
Yeah.
It feels like that would be too easy if you just eat the boss and you're done. That said, nothing in this game's movement looks easy.
Yeah. Maybe you have to shoot the pieces once stunned.
Maybe? Yeah, I can see that. I don't think we've seen him try that.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's the end of the bot. Keeps the power and all the parts that... Oh, but that moves so slowly now.
Okay, so in order to have an effective enough missile, they need to be bigger.
Wyrm up to a third continue here while Vi trying to eat a robot part there. Are they missing parts to the snake?
Don't know.
Hey, nothing here. They're checking for it as well, like...
Yeah.
I considered it earlier, but it was just... I don't know. Nothing new there. Not gonna check the top side, I guess. Okay, that shot just went straight through everything, so I don't think it's shooting any of the parts.
No. What are we missing?
It might just be to do with the, like, eating mechanics as well. You don't need to fully encircle the thing you're trying to eat.
Okay.
You can kind of clip a corner of it, and as long as you are a circle, anything that is overlapping that circle will be eaten. So you don't need to be completely around the object, but obviously the difficult part is doing that because the objects have collision. If I find some time with this...
Also making sure you have the snake as well.
I do kind of wonder if, like, killing these enemies would give another part, but I doubt it. None of the others have, right?
I don't think so, no.
Not that we would know, because they haven't really been killing anything, but they've not needed them to beat the stages, so I assume they don't.
Maybe this is I was about to make a Undertale joke and say maybe this is a pacifist run.
Well, that part's out of bounds.
So it turns out that pieces have collision, but walls do not.
Am I moving slower on this? Oh, no. Got out of there in time.
Down to their last credit on this difficult boss.
And yeah, a reminder that using up a continue will also result in having to redo the stage. By going straight to the core, I do at this point I think has to be right. Just on the grounds that you can push the machine parts out of the walls, apparently. Okay, definitely not a part of shooting the other machine parts. You see Vi just going through all the kind of steps, like experimenting a little bit with everything now.
Wanting to make sure that, you know, they haven't missed a trick.
Push that out of bounds and yep, no, that didn't help. If it's always 2 shots and then... Oh god. Okay, well that one didn't go out of bounds, but
The icon on the lower left screen, it's also on Wyrm's screen.
I think it's the lives, that one.
Yeah.
That's your 3 lives, and then the bottom right is your credits. It's kind of weird having both lives and continues as separate functions, but yeah, 3 lives, 3 continues. You definitely cannot get around those machines. You either have to kind of clip a corner of them or just ignore them. Okay, by coming back up to read this, tells you that you can shoot things. Shoots one enemy, shoots another. Gets hit by their own bomb.
Yeah.
The fact that your own bullets can hit you is a little frustrating.
Yeah. Yoshi's... Vi just ate one. It just
an
gives
enemy.
points. It just gives points.
But we do see someone finally killing the enemies in the stage. Wait. And new ones spawn? Never mind. Don't bother. Don't even bother.
You don't need to.
Oh, I didn't realise new ones would spawn in. Wyrm up to Act 11, by the way.
Hmm. So now Wyrm gets to fire some shots.
Oh.
Or get
The little blue blobs coming in.
yeah.
Gotta take this one a little slower.
Hmm.
Neutron, dragon robot.
This sounds really cool, like it is final boss music.
Nice. I don't think the enemies will make a difference, mostly because they've been on the other stages, and it's not done anything on those. I think it is just that you have to circle the core, but you have to get a really, really tight circle around it to circle the core.
You said you've seen some gameplay. Only the earlier stages, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I didn't see this one. I could check, but honestly at this point I feel like that would take away half the fun of this.
Yeah.
One trying to throw down bombs hasn't gone into the bottom half of the stage yet. I, meanwhile, trying to eat one of these robots.
Yeah, by just eating the robot.
Oh. Use key to open door. Oh, right. These robots are going to really get in the way of this, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. And the explosives.
That's fine, because Vi just gets to respawn with the power up and just needs to collect the missing piece. I say that like it's easy. It's not easy when you've got enemies making you even shorter.
Oh, manages to get a shot going there though, and dodges the blue. As far as I know, it's that you have to collect everything to leave, but I'm not confident on that.
You have to be whole to leave.
Hey, Vi, getting a car. Oh, okay. When the enemies are stunned, they just don't have a hitbox. Good to know. Oh no.
This is...
Neutron, dragon, robot. Hey, Vi. Oh, too close. Hey, there is some deaths.
On the bright side, that is a death warp.
Well, I think they want to try eating these enemies to see if it does give them an extra power. And it doesn't.
No.
Yeah, that did a whole lot of nothing.
It's just giving you points. And you can't eat the blue blobs because you can't blow them up.
And then the enemies respawn, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just got to try and enclose the core. I really think that's it.
What happens if you shoot the genie bottles?
I doubt anything. I think those are just like tutorial things, but
Hmm.
it is something that I don't think either of them have tried yet, so it's one of those things of like, if in doubt, just try everything and see what sticks. Okay,
Hmm.
Vi getting a pretty clean hit there, but yeah, there's no way you can eat those machine parts. Not a chance.
This just... This feels really difficult.
Yeah, no, this is I guess the end goal of the challenge for a reason.
Hmm.
But I think part of the difficulty is just in figuring out what the objective even is, because there's so many moving parts to this stage.
Yeah.
Oh! Worm did it! Worm got through!
Wait, what?
That
What
was
did Worm
it!
do?
You do eat the core! And Worm takes the game! Wow,
Oh
wow,
my
wow, 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 wow,
goodness!
wow.
I completely missed that and just...
Worm was like 2 or 3 stages behind for so much of that.
And then just...
And then just got through that stage in a fraction of the time.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Um. Alright. So they're gonna join to chat about this game while we get set up for the next one as well. So,
Nice.
we'll do that. We have Vi,
Hello.
Hello there.
and we have Worm.
Hello.
Hello.
For that
Hello,
one, thoughts?
I just don't get I'm just thought like Worm says it's about encircling the parts of the boss as well on the last one, but I
No, no,
just
no, no, no.
Just-
I didn't encircle any parts. Just the
Just
middle
the core.
one.
okay, just the core. But even then that was pretty big. I tried that like several times.
I think you kept like getting kind of close to it, but it was just that I think the big thing is you don't have to fully encircle something. If
Yeah.
you are a circle, anything that overlaps with that circle will be eaten. So you can kind of clip over the corners of the
I
bosses.
got that. But like the problem with that was that the boss didn't the boss ignored the wall hitboxes, right? Or at
But yeah,
least
the machine parts for sure. You definitely. I noticed you pushed the machine. Like
yeah. Oh, was the middle part not like that? Could you push that against the wall?
Yeah, no, the middle part. I don't know. I just
we didn't
did
see.
a circle
Neither of you
and it
managed
worked.
it.
Okay, well, whatever. Oh,
yeah, like I don't know if this is what you'll want to hear at this point. For what it's worth, Vi, you were like 2 stages ahead for most of that game.
I guessed that was the case. I just didn't understand how to beat the dang boss. Like I was on
Yeah.
that stage. Like I don't think I would have beaten that in like another 10 minutes. Like it was just hard stuck. I don't know.
It did look quite difficult to do, and yeah.
Like-
Yeah, I mean, when I felt like I was pretty far behind because I didn't know what a Mutron was.
The basement
So the
side.
password kept trying to tell me.
Oh,
It's in the
what.
line above.
I'm
Oh.
like, I don't know what this is. I don't understand what the password is.
Yeah, that's fair. I did by the way, I did have some problems early on. If you saw me placing like many bombs rapidly, that's because so I play keyboard games or I play like old games on keyboard by having the D-pad on WASD and the
Mhm.
buttons on the arrow keys basically.
Okay.
So A and D are button 1 auto fire and button 2 auto fire by default on
Oh,
Bizhawk. So that's why I kept placing, and then I didn't understand because my controls looked like they were correct. But then I went over to the auto fire tab and there it was A and D. And it doesn't warn you. Bizhawk does not warn you that you double mapped the button. So that's how that happened. But I figured it out eventually, at least.
Yeah, I started scamming like 3/4 of the way through the game. I would just push the pellets into a corner.
Yeah, same.
And it's like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this encircling business.
That's fair. I mean, the game was fun overall. It was just a little cryptic and weird. I felt like, but
I
hmm.
mean, the enemies are placed in this like extremely annoying way, right? Like,
yeah, for sure. I know what you mean.
and then you actually, there were a lot of times where I was like, I wonder if it's better to just get hit so that I know where my bombs are going to be placed.
Yeah,
Um, but that seemed like a bad idea because everything kills you in one shot, and I was annoyed at some of the hitboxes.
What it's worth, it did take until Act 11 for either of you to try circling any of the enemies.
yeah. To
Um,
be fair, we both had to circle the boss parts
well,
on the
yeah,
previous
ignoring
one.
the bosses, but the
Um,
one that I thought it would be useful on was I think it was Act 7 after the first boss, where you had the giant enemy that just like homed in on you, along with a bunch of the like rock things.
I mean,
Enemy-
I had a lot of trouble encircling anything. Like, so I wasn't I wasn't the time pressure of the bombs hitting the enemies, and then it didn't seem worth it.
Fair, fair. I was gonna say earlier, saying about the kind of difference going into the like final couple of
I
acts.
cannot play this game.
It mostly felt as well like you were very cautious with it comparatively. In lots of things, like we saw it more on the boss towards the end and stuff, but you would like hide in a corner and wait for things to just fuck off, basically. Um, whereas Wyrm, it felt like you were trying to go in a little more aggressively, sneak past things, and ended up hitting your second continue at the same time Vi hit their first, I think.
hmm.
Which, like, considering that's 9 lives, is a pretty big difference.
Oh yeah, I hit that. Well, I didn't know whether or not I was pressing the wrong button at first, or and then later after I took a bunch of deaths, I realized it was kicking me back because I game overed.
Right, yeah, fair.
I need a reroll on this game.
Have you already played it?
I There are
Oh
multiple people
no!
around me who speedrun this game all the time.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
I
okay.
Oh
see.
no! This is the game that I was given to try out. It's a really cool and cute game, and
It's one of the best speed games that I've been told, and I can, yeah.
it was really fun to play. So when I was trying it
It's
out,
a really good game. Everyone should play
yeah.
it, except that I have played it.
Oh no!
Right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send Trial all the information for Raythrough so that I can update all the other information everywhere else.
Anyway, I'm gonna hop out again, and then good luck for the second one, I guess.
Yep. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with you.
I'd like to both of them. All right,
And
let's
I have re-rolled into rats for the Game Boy Color.
starting point. Start game on Go. Ending point. Beating level 15 with the giant bull. Continue. None. One is your last life. The game saves your password in the password screen, but the menu defaults to start game. Do not mash after game over.
So we know nothing about this one then.
Yeah.
Other than apparently it's a Game Boy Color platformer specifically.
Platformer. Okay.
The game never tells you which level you're on though, so you should try to remember your passwords. Okay, that's pretty spicy. I will get I assume this one's fine now. So I will get the prediction started. 10 minutes on this one. For rats. Sorry, I just love that it's got the exclamation mark on the end of the name as well.
So, are we supposed to whisper it? Shout out loud?
I wonder if we play as rats. Are there any rats in rats?
We play as rats, or we play as a cat that's chasing down the rats.
But also there's a giant bull.
Yeah, the cat wants to scratch the ball, and
Rats. I should update the race time room as well.
yeah, it's already been updated.
No, as in.
Oh, change over the name, not the name, the timer. I get you.
I guess while we're at it, I will also pause. Should have set up like an image, like a crown or something. Oh, we have Carbs played this one before. Imagine.
Ooh.
I know nothing of rats, but I'm excited to see what it's like. But we'll give them a bit of setup time. It's like a good time to take a couple of minutes break if needed. But match point for Wyrm with this one. So Vi dropping their Vi's second. Combined, it's the 5th game they've dropped in the whole tournament.
Damn.
One definitely had a bit more of a rough time in the groups, but yeah, Vi definitely one of the strongest contenders so far. And this match is, I know they were pretty worried about facing off against Wyrm though. I honestly, like, at the time, I think I said Group E looks like the strongest one on paper. Like, there's a lot of people who I know are going to be good at a lot of different games. Now, looking back, Wyrm and Carp tying for first feel like they're contesting for first in that group already. With a couple of others, and I think, honestly, at this stage, you could pick any of the top 4 as, like, a favourite pretty reasonably. Top 4 meaning the 4 people who are currently on winner's side.
Yeah. Like, I've been following the tournament lightly. I know that we've had some pretty interesting games. We somehow got a Sonic game.
Nobody had played Sonic 3D.
Yeah.
Except, apparently, all of chat. Nobody had played Croc, except, apparently, all of chat.
Is there... are you allowed to divulge if certain games are on the list or not?
No. I can, but I won't. Generally speaking, I'll avoid it just in case those games get rolled, and Obviously, we don't want people just to go off and play a bunch of the games that are on the list, because then it means that we're more likely to have to reroll and
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think Chimp and Mario on the other side of the bracket, those two have both had really, really strong performances. Chimp has just played like every type of game ever. And a lot of like, specifically a lot of like obscure or like indie titles or that kind of thing. So has a lot of practice playing games that might not be super optimized on the controls, might have like a few weird quirks to them, which are the kind of games that will come up in a tournament like this. Mario, on the other hand, just picks things up so quickly and just seems to have better, like, I don't want to say reflexes because it's not always action games, but like kind of better fundamentals than a lot of the other players. That isn't, of course, to take anything away from anyone else in the tournament, but I definitely think, like, going into the bracket, these four were kind of the four to keep an eye on. And I mean, actually, let me double
They are
check
proving
again.
it.
In the predictions, we had 9 people submit predictions, and 2 people picked themselves to win, and the others all picked Chimp, Mario, or Vi. Oh no, sorry, and 1 picked Carp. There we go. So, yeah, definitely a kind of front line almost in this.
Favorites being favorites.
Apparently Vi's having some issues running this one, so we'll just have to chat for a little longer. I haven't started the prediction, so it's a good thing they're also not starting yet.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do that now.
I feel like as commentators, I shouldn't put a prediction down because
Hey, just don't.
yeah.
Like, it's fine. It's like, as long as you're not
Well,
biased on the commentary, you can predict whoever you want. Also, to be fair, most of the time in like other channels and stuff, my predictions are always the person I like. I tend to predict somebody based on like a specific trait, but I'll always acknowledge that it will be really close and these people will be favored in these circumstances and whatever. In this situation, I think one of the clearest things in I guess Wyrm's favor right now is, generally speaking, Vi's biggest strength in this tournament has been puzzle games. And we have just rolled an action game into a platformer.
okay, so yeah. Not
That isn't to say Vi is bad at other games. Vi has won countless games already, including a bunch of platformers. But they definitely picked up a reputation for puzzle games to this stage.
like I wouldn't be surprised if Vi's strength being the puzzle games is isn't the only thing that they're good at.
Yeah, no, like, what? Let's see what Vi won at. So, puzzle game, kind of puzzle platformer, very much like an arcade platformer, and then came second in a side-scrolling, I guess, beat 'em up, but more like like a Metroidvania, kinda.
Okay, yeah, I get the.
And then Line was like a kind of puzzle platformer, I guess, is the best way to put that one.
Okay.
So there's been a decent mix of almost all puzzle platformer so far. Some are just pure puzzle, some are just pure platformer, and some kind of walk the line between the two. But that has definitely been Vi's path here. Whereas Wyrm has definitely had a bit more range on the games they've ended up with. He's played Firepoint, which was a kind of puzzle platformer, I guess, but mostly just puzzle. Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is mostly action, but honestly kind of anything.
Wait, that's a game?
N64, yeah, I put that into the list. I was the one who played that and put the goal in, and let me tell you, that group were not
Wow.
happy with me for doing that.
Wow.
Then Doodle Alive was a puzzle platformer. That was the one where you'd switch between 2D and 3D. Frog's Guide was a puzzle game. And Mobility, the one that Wyrm came third in, was, I want to say, platformer. Although I don't remember that one too well. And then we've had Ribbit King, which was a golf game, and Daisy Dangerous, which was a 2D shooter. So yeah, Wyrm's definitely had a more varied path getting here.
But Vi has been able to work to their strengths
Right.
much better.
And the game that Wyrm came third in was a platformer, which is what we've got here.
Yeah.
So there's definitely points in either player's favor overall. Vi's strength has been puzzle games. Wyrm has had a bit more of a like varied pool. But Wyrm has struggled more on the platformers that have come up, and Vi has done well on the platformers, albeit mostly puzzle platformers.
Maybe this is a puzzle platformer. Maybe this will be a puzzle platformer.
It does say in the notes, every level has an exit door, but it's locked. You'll have to figure out how to unlock it. So maybe.
Yeah. The final level with the ball has an additional requirement. And based on the demo that we're getting to see on stream, it looks like it's just a shoot 'em up platformer.
Side-scrolling shoot 'em up? Yeah?
Yeah. You're playing as a rat who has a gun.
I was going to comment on the fact that this game was made by Take-Two, which is surprising. But I guess if it's mostly a shooter, that kind of fits their range a little better.
Yeah. Also, having a look at the demo, it looks like there's also a timer.
But what is this like? Kind of like jazz rock.
Yeah.
Like OST.
Like the we going swing dancing potentially? Like that's what I'm picturing right now with this game.
It's very like, yeah, it's like a very 50s rock kinda. I'm sure the music nerds in chat are screaming at me internally for referring to this as rock, but
It does sound rock. Yes, it sounds jazzy, but it's also rocky. Like that rock and roll. The 50s rock and roll.
yeah, that's exactly it. Like the thing I'm thinking is like Johnny Be Good, that kind of.
A lot of rolls as well.
Yeah. It's like... I love watching this demo, by the way, because it gets to a point and then just decides it's gonna run headfirst into an enemy to end the demo.
Those look like spiders on the
Yeah, I think they are.
on the wall.
Oh.
Oh!
Okay, the demo just goes to the exit.
Now that's information that Vi isn't getting at the moment. At least I don't think they've gotten.
Yeah, apparently
Because
their game is crashing a bit, but
oh,
we'll see. I mean, I assume, firstly, like, they might just let the demo run through a bit. And secondly, I don't know, it feels almost self-explanatory as well. There are only kind of two objectives on any stage: enemies or food.
maybe the extra requirement then for the final stage is going to be you have to kill the bull.
Beating a boss, yeah, would make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, Vi has already up, so... their streams might be a little off at this point. I should probably refresh though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute the audio for now, I'm afraid, because we're probably gonna get hit with an ad when I...
Yes.
Wow, this is incredible gaming content right here. Thanks, Twitch.
Oh, nice. Now we get two
ads?
audible ads.
Rude. So yeah, we do see them, or we see Vizen now, coming in on one of the stages that we saw in the demo there. Oh, the music on this stage isn't actually as good either. Disappointing. And you can also see the timer, by the way, has like a few seconds difference, so...
The music doesn't sound as good on this. Yeah,
this is so
music just sounds-
disappointing.
Yeah. Like, when we listened to the opening theme, that was very good. This is... I think Vi, however, is understanding the game. You've got food, you've got enemies.
Yeah, like I say, I feel like in part there's just... Oh, never mind. I guess with the setup issues, they might not have had time to re-paste bin. Okay, the exit is not open yet.
No, you need to eat all the food.
Yeah. Yeah, they go back up to that window. I assume that's a food item there, yeah. And then just drop back round and...
Now they should be able to get through the door.
All the way back up, yeah. And yep, one gets through.
And
there's probably a way optimally to like dodge this hammer cycle that Vi's having to wait for there, but not far behind at all though, so
yeah.
I get the impression that like this should be a game that is generally pretty simple, and a death might decide this, because if one of them takes a death and like, oh, and as I say that, Wyrm taking a death, they feel fairly avoidable. So every death is going to feel far more costly than it would in a lot of other games.
Especially if a death ends up actually, you know, trying to think of if a death resets the stage as opposed to...
Yeah, I was seeing on Wyrm's side, I think it didn't, but I don't know for sure. I think probably just wants to drop down here. Yeah.
Mm.
Get these, and then needs to kill this thing. Oof.
Oof.
Well, I'm taking another death there, I think.
Ooh.
I think
No, he
Guy
just
has
needs
all
to-
the food, just needs the exit, right?
Yeah, just needs to find the exit.
I think it was in the bottom left, but I guess maybe there's a different path over there. Oh, and Wyrm has all the food as well.
Damn. And yeah, you're right, it is bottom left.
Oh, never mind. Oh, Vi had to go back up to get that, but didn't jump for it. Never mind, maybe the deaths are not as costly as I thought they would. Waiting out these cycle fields. Obnoxious, though. Oh,
Mm.
and an enemy just appears?
What?
Okay, the food items don't reappear, though. An enemy just came
Okay.
out of that window next to Vi.
It was... Yeah, that was just... That's...
Entered
Wyrm...
High score.
Yeah, that's a name.
Oh. It's so, like, it is Johnny Be Good, right? Like, that's
I
the
don't
only thing I can
know.
think of. I don't think it actually is, but it definitely is, pretty close. Definitely has the hallmarks of, something like that. Alright, so we have a close contest
Just
right
race,
now.
yeah.
I don't think yet you can jump onto that.
Thank you, Cap, for letting us know that. A 12-bar blue piece has been declared.
It's just like definitely got the like rock and roll hallmarks more than anything. It's
Mm.
definitely that kind of style, and I mean, I guess it doesn't take much to sound like, you know, if it has the hallmarks of the era, like Gonna Be Good is kind of one of the most well-known like 50s rock and roll songs, so it kind of makes sense that that would be comparison point. Oh, there's this one rat. Is that another rat? Are you just friendly firing rats in this game?
I think that's a mouse, not a rat. I think we're safe on the friendly fire.
Jumping enemies definitely feel like they're a little more difficult to avoid. Oh, the door in the bottom left opening up there, so yeah, you can tell when the door's open. By nearly taking a death there, one. Game doesn't tell you which stage you're on, which is
No.
difficult. I think they're both on to stage 4 right now, though.
I want to say 4. Yeah, they're on to stage 4. I saw the first part of the password on my screen, and it's the same as...
Right.
Yeah, it's the only one with starting B.
Apparently the passwords might be slightly different based on lives. Definitely learning a lot about Wyrm's playstyle here. Very, very aggressive. Just
Hmm.
taking a lot of deaths on the way through, but kind of making the most of
The lives,
playing.
yeah.
It's like playing very aggressively and using up a lot of lives, but making each one really make some progress.
Hmm.
Oh, that. Okay, it doesn't jump up here. I think I missed an item near the top, yeah.
Yeah.
Come back up and get that. I don't know if they can make that jump from.
I don't know.
Well, meanwhile, just waiting it out to try and get this ice cream.
Yeah.
Which I guess, is that the same one that... Oh no, I got that one, but missed the burger to the left.
Hmm.
Why is this rat trying to eat a bunch of food?
Have you ever seen the film Ratatouille?
I haven't, but you know what? Makes sense, yeah. And Vi taking a very, very narrow lead there. With the timer difference, that's probably like a 10-second lead, but it's like a 10-second lead. That is not a big one. How did the predictions go on this one? 52-48%, 12k to 11k.
Ooh.
Jeez.
We have an even match.
Oh. By taking an early death there, trying to make that jump, but not gonna be costly. Oh, I see.
So
The first
enemies...
time on Vi's end there, yeah, the enemies drop
Yeah.
like an egg thing that spawns a new enemy.
Bit like in what's it called? Balloon Fight.
Oh,
You know, where if
right,
an
yeah.
enemy lands on the ground, they can potentially blow up another balloon. There's
Oh,
no
you can't go
oh,
through that?
no.
Oh.
Have to go this way.
Oh, one taking a death. And that's a game over as well. And Vi taking a death. That's a game over as well. So... ah.
Could we say synchronized roadkill?
Oh, it does remember the password.
Hmm.
Oh, but the downside is that Wyrm's coming in with 1 life as a result.
Yeah.
So entering a stage with more lives is pretty important, actually.
Hmm.
Oh, Vi just a little too late getting over to that kind of mini egg.
Yeah. It feels like the further you go, the less lives you've got, the harder it's going to be.
But if you, like, take a death at some point, and then beat the next... I guess no, because... I guess Wyrm is just stuck at 1 life at this point, right?
Hmm.
Because either you continue and you beat the stage, or you die, you game over, and then you can password in with 1 life.
Yeah. Or you just use the password that's provided by...
Well, I mean, the
Pasting.
pastement specifically says, like, not to do that because
Yeah.
the lives are tied to the password, so... Oh, we got some ice physics, it looks like. It's like cake platform. Oil, okay. I was thinking like treacle or
Ooh.
something, but...
Yeah, oil is quite slippery when you have nothing underfoot. Also, they both now have an extra life, which should be
That
helpful.
is actually a really big deal. Yeah.
Mm. And the head also has told him that the door is open for Vi.
Right, just making their final climb up. And takes a pretty clear lead at this point then.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on the way up to the door, so it's still not a big lead, but bigger than it was going into the stage.
Mm.
By grabbing the kind of stop sign power up at actually a really inopportune moment.
Mm.
Won't be able to get that egg there.
Mm.
That is a new enemy.
Doesn't seem to be a way to crouch and crawl through.
Yeah, just gotta go round the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, well there is the other way, I guess. Oh, can't jump over the snakes, and that isn't a game over.
No, one last life.
So Wyrm with 2 lives here, but definitely needs to catch up a little bit on this stage still.
Mm.
By flying through a bit faster now as well, just really kind of...
Understanding the mechanics a little, you could say.
I think, like, they struggled a bit more early with kind of some of the precision jumps, it looked like.
Mm.
And now that they've kind of grasped exactly how far you can go with every option, they're moving through a little bit better. Oh, there's no way you get this from the side. Really? Okay, I would have wanted to come at that from above.
Hmm.
Chocobo theme! It's the Chocobo theme! That's what I'm thinking of! There's a version of the Chocobo theme called Electric Chocobo, and that is what... It's the Final Fantasy VII version, and that is what the start of this song sounds like.
Okay.
Oh, so that power-up is an insta-kill on every enemy on the screen.
Hmm.
But then they all drop the eggs, so you still have to break the egg before they hatch again.
Hmm.
Oh, Wyrm getting a little greedy there and just jumping straight onto a hammer, and that is a game over. I think that's the other thing, is like, if you're at 1 life, that is the worst time to start playing greedy.
Yeah, like if you're at 1 life, you should try and be as conservative as possible and just not risk it.
Like, just get through the stage, get to the next one, and then you can, like, lose that life learning the next one. But don't do it when you've pretty much solved a stage. Oh, and Wyrm taking a jump into a bird, down to 1 life again. By getting into the stage with 3 lives is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, I know they picked up a life power up and them are currently at 3.
Yeah, I think there's some bonus for finishing a stage maybe as well, because I thought they were at 2, but might just be that they picked up a life towards the end of... Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you do get a life near the end of the stage, because Wyrm's just picked up a life. So... yeah, I guess there was just a life on the left of this stage somewhere.
This game looks really interesting to play.
It's definitely not like the worst game we've seen in the tournament, right? Like there's been some pretty vicious platformers in terms of the mechanics, whereas this one actually feels like it would be pretty playable at least, yeah.
Yeah, like this could be a decent speed game.
I feel like as a speed game, a lot of this would be like learning the cycles and knowing which order to get things in. The routing
Yeah.
for it would be really interesting. The actual playing, I think, a little less so. Also, why is the gun on the loading stage screen like a
I don't know.
toy gun? Like, in the
Because-
stage, you got like a fucking fully automatic, but,
Yeah.
well,
It's-
definitely not
it's-
fully automatic
well, it's-
looking at the firing
It's
rate.
definitely at least semi-automatic shotgun
But,
kind
like,
of thing.
it's like an actual... It is at least firing actual bullets, which is more than can be said for the loading screen.
Yeah. Or maybe it's firing corks.
I mean, to be fair, I imagine if you shot a cork at a snake, it would probably do a decent amount of damage.
Yeah. And at a snail, it could break the shell.
Oh. By dropping and Wyrm letting an egg hatch, but manages to shoot down in time.
Mm. I think letting the eggs hatch isn't the end of the world. Because
Yeah, I don't think it's always costly, but the problem is not knowing what they're going to hatch into. Because I don't think it's consistent, the enemies that will spawn. Oh, okay, a time power-up if you already have a time power-up just does nothing.
Hmm.
Ah, the enemy stagger. That helps then, yeah, you can just kind of rapid fire into one of them.
yeah.
The one needed to go over to the right there. I've lost track of the stage numbers at this point.
I don't
Completely
know.
gone.
Like, at this point, Vi could be on stage 6, could be on stage 8, could be on stage 10. I don't
Like-
know.
I would assume somewhere around 7, you know, give or take 1. All I can say at the very least is I'm pretty sure Wyrm has now got to the same stage. Pretty sure they are both on the same stage with.
It's hard to tell with the backgrounds, but I'm inclined to say you're right.
Although, actually, looking at the stage layout, the one that Vi already made it through this one, so Vi's a clean stage ahead at this point.
Damn.
Like a stage and then some.
Hmm.
Definitely the kind of game you want to be more cautious in, for sure, yeah. This is something where trying to rush will be really costly. continues are bad, and respawning at the start, like, even if the food stays gone, respawning at the start of the stage is gonna be difficult. Also, we're definitely at the stage of the tournament where every prediction is reasonable, and it's actually, you know what we haven't done in a short while they're powering through these stages? Looking at the actual bracket predictions for the tournament. So my prediction, there are 9 predictions, by the way, and as the tournament organizer, my prediction is currently 9th out of 9. I am very wrong so far. The prediction in first was because I was saying to people, hey, you should go do more predictions. And someone was just like, alright, I'm going to predict myself to win the whole tournament. So Jamie did that, and Jamie is in first. Like, things like this are hard to predict. For what it's worth, this match, I had 2 completely different people in this match in the winner's bracket. This is Download versus Riley, so...
Fair.
And my loser's bracket is, like, pretty much entirely wrong as a result.
Bonus level?
Okay. I guess that's why you need to keep track of the number. Oh.
Bonus level? You don't need to complete it.
I wonder if that's actually... Yeah, okay. No, you're right.
This is the final stage. Beware of the bull.
Assuming the bull is actually on this stage, yeah. Haven't seen it yet. It might be a warning for the next one, and it might be... This is it. Ooh. By running very close to a few enemies there and managing to dodge out the way of them, but...
The level design looks really cool, that if you fall down, there are ways that you can intentionally climb back up, even to the very top, if you slip.
Right, as long as you don't fall, like, off the bottom completely. Such a precise jump at the top there. Vi's really getting the hang of the movement in this, like, just getting those, like, kind of quick turnarounds in the air, so you, like, drop off a platform and quickly turn back to land directly below where you started.
Nicely saving a lot of time in the process.
It just makes navigation so much easier, and I don't think we've really seen Wyrm do that much. Also just getting some very precise jumps there, and... Well, we were told to beware of the bull. Is this it? There's a bull in the background!
There's always been a bull in the background.
And it's still not here yet. Yeah, there's actually, in terms of speedrunning, there would definitely be some death warp potential in this game.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd really thought about it though, just because I feel like they generally want to be cautious with their lives right now, but yeah, from a speedrunning perspective, that would be incredible. Gotta take that jump to the left, I guess.
The song that I'm reminded of most when I play the intro theme is actually what's the song called? It's Rocking Around the Clock Tonight.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that one as well. Oh.
That mouse just betraying you.
Okay, not a costly death at all, though.
No,
That
like
conversation we were just having about deaths not always being a big deal in this. Yeah, sure enough, showing off right there.
just the control that you need.
And that should, yep, exit
Yep.
stage. So how far away are we now? We've got to be close.
We have to be close, yeah. Like,
I know we lost count, but it's been, you know, twice as many since then. And even then, I was thinking we were around 7 or 8 at that point. Not be at all surprised to see this be 15. Doesn't look like there's a bull here yet, though. Oh god, that bird.
that bird just, that is not a nice place for the bird.
He's still no bull. There is a 1-up, though.
Mm-hmm.
This squirrel? Is
It's a squirrel or a fox, but it doesn't give
definitely a little awkwardly placed, but
yeah. I think by stopping there, I think they had a bit of intuition, like I should not just leap.
might have seen the hammer earlier. I'm not entirely sure, but one just hitting the Beware of the Bull stage, and I'm pretty sure Fire's a good 4 or 5 stages past that now, so
Must be a few stages at least.
clearing this, like,
Mm.
this has been really impressive. Like, they started off pretty close, and one actually took a bit of an early lead, I think, but Vi is, yeah, just soaring through much faster now. Still waiting to see the actual bull show up, but
Yeah. My money's on the fact that you have to kill the bull when you get to that stage.
I would assume the same, yeah. The enemies haven't been necessary to kill to this point.
Mm.
They just kind of get in the way. I think the bull is going to be required. Okay, new movement again from Vi. Gets the stop. Oof.
That
Landing
was
next to the snail, but... Okay, back to the left. Down to get this... Sundae? I can't even tell what half the food items are meant to be, like...
We've got candy canes, we've got cola bottles,
Yeah.
we've got
But, like,
lollipops.
the lollipop one in the demo, at least, I thought was a shovel. Like, obviously, I figured out what it was pretty quickly when it's, like, clear that all of them are food items. It's like, oh, okay, that's what it's meant to be. But, like, when it first came up in the demo, I was like, alright, well, we've seen, like, these falling, like, hammers or axes, I don't know which. And then it looked like a shovel, so I assumed it was bad. Oh, there we go. There we go.
So this is the final stage?
Oh, that is not a good place to be stood, though.
No.
Okay, so definitely some level of, like, dodging around this one.
Yeah, I need to...
Vi has the lives to spend dodging around, though.
Yeah, and I think if they were to game over, they're going to come back on 5 lives.
Yeah, yeah. That's a dead end. I don't think you can get out of this corner, right?
Nope.
Gotta get a few shots in early. I assume you have to kill the
That's-
boss to stay.
Yeah, like we don't know how you beat the level, if it is kill the bull or... Maybe the bull has a predetermined path?
I think it does. I think it seems like it goes up and left at the start, and then bounces around the top and down the right side again. And it'll probably come along the bottom and then loop around from there. And Vi actually now just basically following the same path that I think the bull will take. And it doubles back there, that's the start of its path again.
I think Wyrm is currently 2 stages behind.
So the door hasn't opened. I'm pretty sure
Maybe
Vi
he-
has all the food.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you need to kill the bull.
Question is, how
And it
many shots
should-
does the bull take?
Just turn around there, yeah. Vi's double checking for food just to make sure, but so I guess the best way to do this, there's like 2 different ways you could do it. You could follow it on its path, shooting it from behind the whole way, or you can wait on that middle platform, which is much slower but much safer.
Yeah, like... It depends on how runners want to do this. I would definitely suggest patience over...
I think in this scenario I would be following it because you can keep a safe enough distance that following it isn't too costly.
And you end up not being, you know,
And
what's
it's
it
only a
called?
problem if you get... Oh, enemies are spawning. Is this
Yeah.
because you take too long on the stage?
Yep.
Oh, Vi's closing in on that middle platform, which is where the bull turns around. These enemies get stronger over time? Hard to
I
tell.
don't know.
Like, it looks like they're taking... maybe not. Maybe I just missed a couple of the shots earlier.
I like how the time mechanic doesn't just straight up kill you.
But when the time runs out, it starts spawning an endless supply of enemies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a good way to punish you for taking too long without it being
Punishing
game-breaking
you,
in case
yeah.
you've, like, fell at the wrong time and that's it. Like, one fall isn't just, okay, well, now you lose. And there's the bull down.
The bull is
And
dead.
the door is open. So Vi just needs to get up there
Run,
now.
Vi, run.
And
That's
that
time.
is time for Vi. 37:26 for Vi, so again, we'll see if yep, Vi will be joining us in here. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome in.
Woo! I thought I just had to get all the food. I didn't know I could beat him. Oh, and then the time limit, and oh my god, I can't believe they made that work somehow.
We were talking about how the time limit isn't punishing because, yes, if you take too long, it's spawning an enemy, but it means that if you fall accidentally, you're not, you know, game overed.
Yeah. It was nice in that way. Just added an extra little challenge on top of everything else you already have to deal with. Oh.
It definitely looks
Wyrm is like close to finishing or something.
a couple of stages behind still.
Oh.
Definitely had a bit of a rough So early on, I feel like you took a while getting used to the kind of controls a bit more
Yeah.
at the start, figuring out kind of your like jump heights, distances, that kind of thing. But once you'd grasped it, you were flying through stages. Like there was
Yeah.
there was one section in particular on one of the like last couple of stages where you jumped past 2 hammers, and we were just here like, oh my god, that jump is so terrifying. Like I can't believe they went for that, but you just jumped through it like nothing.
It sounds really silly, but there was legitimately a moment where my brain, or like the part of my brain that controls the game and understands the game was like, Vi, I've got this. Just go.
This is it.
And from then on, I just went, and it just worked. I don't know, something clicked. Something just clicked, and everything was just perfect from then on.
You get to the point where you can play the game instinctively, like you've already won.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just thinking, you know, I think it's a TikTok music audio, but they just say run and it just blares trap music, I guess is the best way to describe it.
I wouldn't know. I'm too boomer for this.
Same, I guess.
But no, I think the flip side I was going to say, for what it's worth, is I feel like you struggled more early, but once you got the grasp of the mechanics, you flew through it, whereas Wyrm has been at a consistent pace the entire time, but that consistent pace has been slower than you were once you grasped it.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. It did feel really rough at the start, but at some point it was just like, okay, it all makes sense. Now we can go.
Also, for what it's worth, again, Wyrm has been far more aggressive about the play, and in this game that is a lot more punishing because we have seen several continues.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a dead end. Can't get through here. Oh, kills it in time though.
Oh, nice.
I guess don't beware the bull when you can just spray it with fire in time.
Yeah, just... And that's time for,
Yeah, Wyrm finishing up there.
yeah.
1-1. Tying up the set, so we'll, I assume you're wanting to play the third one now?
Yeah, I would play the third one. But it's up to Wyrm, of course, as well.
Yeah? We have,
Meanwhile, I'm gonna... I found the audio of what I'm talking about.
oh no.
I've just shared it in the...
now.
okay. I've shared it in Twitch chat for chat if they want to hear it.
Man.
Game of 1. Oh, this looks spicy already.
Oh, what do we have?
I'll wait until we set up a race room for it, but I will bring Wyrm in. Hello, hello. Game 3 coming up. But what did you think of Rats?
Fun. I just died too many times. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
It was-
we were saying before you joined, I think you grasped like the early game a little better, and Vi kind of took a little longer getting into the swing of things. But once they did, it was just so much precision on the jumps, really carefully dodging enemies, landing some very precise jumps that, you know, we were both saying like we would never have gone for. Whereas I think you didn't get to that extent and ended up taking a couple of extra deaths or taking a little bit longer dodging hammers and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think I mentioned at the start of this that the one thing that I wanted to avoid was mobile. I mean, this is not a mobile game, but like games on DS or whatever platformers.
Portable games, basically.
That's always what I've lost in mystery tournaments too. But this one wasn't that bad. I felt like the controls were responsive, and all the mistakes were just mistimed inputs by myself. So
Mm.
It definitely seems like the kind of game that was like the mechanics are really simple, but learning your like jump arcs and everything is really integral to how well you'll actually get on with this game. There were definitely a few jumps in particular that it looked like you could make and you couldn't quite, or like it looked like you wouldn't be able to make a few of the horizontal jumps that you then could, and it looked like you could make a few of the vertical jumps that you then couldn't.
yeah, for sure. The vertical jumps usually were, well, I mean, uh, I would also get hit by the axes way too many times. The axe hitbox is bigger. I guess I think I got hit on the third stage way too many times by axes, and so I started playing them really, really slow, which was bad.
I won't ping you all because you're in here, by the way, but the third room is up, assuming you're playing now.
I'm good to go, yeah. For a third game. All right,
Yeah.
see you on the other side. I'm gonna go set up.
Cool, fair enough.
So, cleaning the system.
Yeah, so there's one thing I didn't say. I haven't looked at the notes for this one yet. I'll see what it says about them. Oh no, okay, it's just straight up the first sentence in the list. There's a section on the sheet that we've got for the genre of the game, and this game is listed as Pogo as the genre.
You're a pogo stick. Make the best of it.
Pogo, yeah, just
Get through each level by following the arrows, done after beating all 10 levels.
Oh.
There are
And
also
the spreadsheet says 20. Oh, no, never mind. I'm just terrible at reading. Don't mind me misreading.
There are also some shortcuts you can find by exiting the screen somewhere other than the way the arrow is pointing. So this means that we may not have to see all 10 stages.
So it says beat all 10 levels, so I'm not sure, but I guess the shortcuts are quicker because I'm guessing the levels are longer. I'm not really sure how this one will work, but we'll find out. I'm curious to see what a pogo game is like. And yeah, of course, game 3, deciding match for the brackets. So
Yeah.
the whole point was, you know, we go into a best of 3 round and they can play they can play a couple more games to decide it, and of course we've come down to the point where it's just another best of 1.
No, it's a bit more exciting this way because, you know, you need that. Sometimes you need that additional game. Sometimes you just get a bad game.
Yeah, it just means that you're a little less reliant on a little less reliant on the luck factor of, oh well, I suck at puzzle games and we rolled a puzzle game, the end.
Mm.
And you know, today we've had I've already forgotten what the first game even was.
It was Snake meets Pokemon Ranger.
Yeah, we had the kind of snake action game, and now we've had a platformer, like a shooter platformer, and now we have Pogo? So there's a range of games. There's an interesting mix here. And it kind of tests them on a bunch of different things.
Good.
Do I have to do that during the downtime? Is that really happening? I'm gonna start the prediction first. We'll get that one going again. Who will win? Cleaning the system. 10-minute prediction time. That final one in.
Yeah. Get those bets in. It's been a close battle.
And also, yeah, I guess Mr. Mime's pretty good. There you go. Hope it was worth it. I just tried to click a menu thing to clear the thing on the activity feed, and it comes up report redemption. Yeah, I kind of want to, honestly. Like, let's just report this. For what it's worth, I won't do too many because otherwise it's just the entire thing. But just because it's between the games, we'll do these now. Fuck, Mr. Mime, fucking.
Gonna have a bit of fun whilst we wait then with the
You got the downtime in the meantime, might as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't bully me.
Also, I put the music on, but the music I was playing crashed, so
Oh,
that's
God.
good. I'm gonna blame OBS because most of the things that are happening now, I'm blaming OBS. The pastebin says Alt-Enter makes it windowed mode, so
Which
we'll see how it goes.
And by windowed mode, you mean slightly less full screen? The resolution of this game is a huge meme.
This seems interesting.
Mm.
Alright, well, we'll see how they get on with it. I feel like a pogo... Okay, I'm memeing about the game saying it's like pogo genre and everything, but I do think it's worth noting, like, that probably means it's basically an action game. Obviously, there are some, like, slight differences to that. Like, it might be a puzzle platformer, it might just be kind of platformer, but I'm assuming at the very least it's some kind of, like, reflex management precision game, right? Platformer makes perfect sense for it. It's just a question of how much it's pure platformer versus puzzle. Also, I guess... Huh?
They both have different looking menus for cleaning the system.
There are a couple of different ways this game can be played, apparently.
Okay.
They do, though. That's odd. Ready on level select, click on play. Double check on that one, but right, yeah, they were on different versions. The big hatch on that one, more than anything, was also it says ready on level select, click play, which Vi screen doesn't have a play button. It has single player and multiplayer. So,
maybe the version that they need is the one that was in the paste bin or the
yeah, we'll
Ventry.
go with the older version just in case there's kind of extra content or whatever. Okay, it's just the window size is apparently a giant meme, which we can see here. It's like I was gonna say it's like 4, but 4x3, except it's 3x4. Yeah,
It's 4x3, except it's 3x4.
like you get what I mean, right? It's like
Yeah,
it's like a 4x3 resolution sideways.
Yeah.
I guess while they figure that one out, the other thing I will say, just for anyone who's watching who hasn't already, in our Discord we've got the Wiz Rules channel, I think it's called. The quiz section. We have another quiz night coming up. If you haven't already, put in a form. There's a form in there that's basically asking what games people know as like a preliminary sign up thing before we figure out exact dates and times. If you're interested in taking part in the quizzes, which I won't speak for everyone, but I think they're a lot of fun. I've only heard good responses from the people who've been in them. Check that out, fill that in, and that'll help determine what kind of games get covered in the questions. Don't worry too much about, oh, if I say I know this game really well, it's going to have harder questions. It won't. It's just more likely to have questions. So, yeah.
Okay. So they
This
found the
is
settings file.
incredible. Yeah.
It's a text file, but it's in binary.
But yeah, TLDR, if you haven't already filled in that form and you are interested in taking part in the quiz night, even if it's just vaguely interested, do the forms and we can figure out the specifics later if people can or can't take part. But yeah, if people want their games to be represented, now is the time to do it. And I guess if anyone is watching who is not already in the Discord, there are some links. Jesus, we are going through some loopholes right now just to get this at a playable resolution.
It's a shame that we don't show FaceTime chat.
I like it there now. Like, it's just they are figuring out some tech issues, and by tech issues I mean the game was 3x4 and now they are downloading different versions to try and make it 4x3. I guess,
Yes.
like, in theory I guess that would work. So yeah, we are going through some little loopholes at the moment, but we will figure that one out and be up and running shortly with some luck.
cleaning the system. Therefore, we've had to contaminate both machines.
Yeah, cleaning the system of whatever the fuck that resolution was. That's the real game here.
Yeah.
Reminder that the predictions are up already, by the way. It's a pogo game. I cannot tell you any more than that. So they will be
It's a-
open for another 2 minutes.
Wait, 2 minutes?
The predictions have already been up for 8 minutes.
It closes in 10 well, it closes even shorter than that now. Oh, someone.
Oh, okay, never mind. It said 2 minutes on my end and then just said closed. I blame Twitch.
I tried to do the thing because there's only one prediction on one side. I just put one on the other side just so that.
No, this is the good way. I like the fair way of doing this.
Yeah. So now there's 2,500 versus 2,501.
Alrighty. So, let's see what this game is actually like. One ready. I assume Wyrm is actually taking a quick look at the notes again, just to be sure.
Yeah.
But good idea, honestly. You've got this little bit of time to figure out what to do. The
Mhm.
only controls, by the way, are menuing and rotate yourself. That's it.
Hmm.
Just rotate yourself. And then you can restart a stage and yeah. Not much. So I assume it'll be like angling yourself to pogo forwards through the stage towards an end goal, but
Yeah. Uh, I think could this be a beta game? Because vibes thinking, this getting over it vibes.
I mean, I assume it's just a platformer style where you pogo around everything, but
Hmm.
uh well, I mean, we should get to see very soon. Um 10 levels, so depending on how long the levels are, I'd imagine this game wouldn't be too long either. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that one plays
Hmm.
out. And which one of them will move on to winners finals as well. One of them dropping down to face Majarkin in losers round 3. One of them moving on to the winners side finals, where they will be facing the winner of Chimpan Reeve and Mr. Mario. And I am pretty sure that race has also been scheduled as well, so yeah, Chimp versus Mario will be on the 18th. Not the next race we have lined up, because tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central European, so 2 p.m. Eastern Time,
Yeah.
we will have Riley versus Jamie in the remaining losers round 2 match, the last match in the bracket that is not best of 3. So they will
So
be
it's best of
facing off.
threes. It'll be best of threes from here on out.
Yeah, they get their game out of the way and then move on to see who will face the loser of the Chimp Mario match that's on the 18th. But for now, we are getting
Underway.
underway. There will again. I'll refresh the streams again. We'll have just once. Oh, there is a huge discrepancy there.
Okay.
I'm just going to refresh Wyrm's side. Don't mind the...
Mm. So watching the gameplay from
Yeah,
Vi,
this is cool. This is
yeah, like,
very... I'm getting kind of... Do you know Kururin?
no, I don't.
That's kind of like a... Almost like... God, halfway between like this and Clue Land, I guess. Alright. Wyrm's audio is really loud. Let me turn... Whoa. That's not the soundtrack I was expecting for this game.
No, like that's sounding quite nice.
They're in the same screen right now.
Mm.
But yeah, like it's one of those games where you like have to rotate yourself around gaps, basically, and that's kind of like this is a combination of that and like I don't know, almost like the fucking N, is that what it's called? The ninja game?
Oh, N++?
Yeah, like I think that's like the third version of it. Yeah. Oh, I think Wyrm was trying to get the shortcut there, which Vi also trying to get to. Oh, and both just kind of going down the clear path instead. Not much of a shortcut, to be fair.
Mm.
God,
The music is very therapeutic, you know.
It's so calming, but like,
Yeah.
why?
Maybe
It feels so
because
out of place.
I think the developer of the game may have thought this game could be quite rage-inducing, and therefore to...
Yes, but...
Trial, yeah, because it's a rage game.
That just seems so, I don't know. It feels like if you're making a game like that, you play into it, right?
Mm.
Oh, no. Vi traveling backwards, Wyrm traveling backwards. Vi nearly getting over that gap. Makes it. And Wyrm
Nice.
just soared through that though. Wyrm just bounced.
Mm.
Oh, and that's level complete. See.
Well, it was called Snake, and...
So now we have level 2. There was only one shortcut on that stage, and it wasn't a very good one.
Yeah, it wasn't that much of a shortcut.
Oh no. Vi straight down the gap there.
Yeah.
Wyrm about to get through here. And doesn't go through the gap. So Wyrm actually getting a much cleaner path through the stage that... Or through that screen, I should say.
Mm.
That Vi got caught up on. But Vi gets out of that corner quicker. Ooh, but both of them bouncing back. Both straight down into the gap. Wyrm straight out of it though. This is a cool game already. I love the concept of this, but I know I would hate playing it.
I feel like Vi has grasped the idea that you can use the entire length of the stick as just... I'm just going to bounce, slow myself down.
I feel like they've both kind of... Yeah, like Wyrm is bouncing a lot more, but as a result is getting better angles with the bounces. Like it's learning those angles way faster. Whereas Vi is, again, playing a little more cautiously than Wyrm is. And in some situations that's a really good thing, and in some it's not. It's almost the story we've seen of this entire set has been Wyrm plays very aggressively, and sometimes it pays off massively because he just gets through things faster. And sometimes it's better for Vi because they are just that little bit more cautious, don't lose as much time to the aggression, and end up going through sections faster. In this game, it's playing out pretty close. Vi is literally one wall ahead of Wyrm right now.
Different players will have their different strengths, so
Mhm.
you know, if you find hyper aggressive trial and error is your strength, then you're gonna just go head first into it. But if you
And
find
there's definitely been other players who have done that kind of style to extremes as well, and have had a decent amount of luck with it. We mentioned earlier Riley versus Jamie in the losers bracket at the moment, and Riley, I think, is like the first player that comes to mind for me when we're talking about aggressive playstyles in this tournament. One nearly making a very precise jump there, but not quite landing it, and Vi getting a bit of a lead here as a result.
there's that
What is
shortcut.
a shower.
That shortcut looks like it just cuts out this room.
Yeah, a couple of screens difference there.
Yeah.
Again, not the biggest, but it's something. One moving backwards, no. One really moving backwards, no. Oh, that is. Oh, Vi?
Vi? That is a
Oh, never mind.
nice
Didn't.
shot.
Would have been a really nice shortcut if they hadn't just immediately gone backwards on it again. I think Wyrm is going to have some choice words for us after all of this.
Yeah. I kind of want to play the game just so I can experience it myself after this race.
But also, I don't know if this is the kind of game that anyone... Oh my god, Wyrm. Okay, Wyrm got a good jump there and got into, like, the third arc.
Sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards.
The only problem being this is still further back than Wyrm was earlier.
Yeah.
And now has to nail this kind of spring. There we go, Wyrm out.
Yeah.
In
The
what world is
dragon-
that a rhino?
Pardon?
Stage rhino. In
I
what
thought that
world
was
is that a rhino?
Yeah. Like, I would have said that was a dragon.
This is elephant, apparently, that Vi's been in. I missed the name earlier, but and Vi out, so a full level ahead right now, which is... That is an incredible lead. And so we have this updraft here.
Oh, I get this the idea of this updraft. It blows against the length of the stick.
Well, yeah, like, I guess the core of this one, though, is specifically using that momentum to carry you up, and in particular, it kind of throws off a lot of what would be your typical expectations from something like this. By actually trying to get the shortcut there and just not managing to get through because of that fan. I think there was a fan in the stage that Wyrm is still in as well.
There was. It was in...
He didn't really... Or, like, we didn't really get to see it used at all because neither of them needed it. It just was there as, like, an option near one of them, which I guess is to set you up for later, but...
And we can now see that shortcut would have been a really nice shortcut too.
Oh? Oh, they both lead to the same place, which is the exit. Hippo, I guess? Oh.
Yeah.
Next level. How is Vi jumping to the next level here? Because Wyrm has been going back to the menu every time.
Oh no. Like, I don't see a...
Yeah.
Hmm.
No? More? Oh, that fan is in a really awful... Wow.
Yeah.
This looks... Oh, there are buttons. There are literally buttons on the level completion screen, and one of them is restart, and one of them is next. And I think Wyrm just hasn't even noticed that. Has just been spamming through the post screen.
Hmm.
Alright, Wyrm's opportunity to learn about fans. Which is to say, specifically the utilizing the surface area.
Hmm.
You have a wider surface area, you are carried further. It's weird. I feel like that would be fairly intuitive for me. And at the same time, I guess with a game like this, you're not necessarily expecting it to play with that kind of mechanic.
Hmm.
Oh. And I'm just ignoring the shortcut entirely and just going, nah,
Not worth
take
it.
the exit. Nope. Could not quite get through that gap. I through another level already as well. Oh, whoa, whoa. Was that ice? I
That
think
is
that was ice
ice.
physics.
Yeah, we have Ice Figure 6. And I think Vi is... Nope, not gonna bother. Fire in the hole!
Alright, Wyrm out of Tourn. Yeah, there's two buttons on the Oh, wait. Do the ice physics carry you in whatever direction you're in? Oh my god.
Probably?
Oh, well, Vi just... Jeez. I like, okay, this is it. This is Vi's forte. It's just weird, kind of puzzly
Yeah.
platformers. Are you kidding me?
This is really cool!
Like skiing mechanics all of a sudden? Like, I like it, but what? Alright, Wyrm out of pig. And sees the buttons. Wyrm is seeing the buttons there for the first time and has moved to the next stage. I is flying on this. You can
And
swim.
now we've got water. Yeah, we've now got water.
There's bubbles on one side of the pogo, so you want to specifically aim at that side to kind of cannon yourself through the water. Oh, no, that's not the direction you want to go in.
I love how the game also teaches you certain mechanics. So you, when you play, it's like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, it's definitely done a really good job of like slowly introducing each element in a way that makes it intuitive. Like the worst one so far has probably been the fan, and even that wasn't bad. It was just a little more obnoxious than the others. Oh, Vi building up a bit of speed to get this mini torpedo going. Oh no, you don't want to leave there. Vi on this slow ascent that's just not gonna make it. I think your knees are almost need to bounce off the top left wall here. Oh, they're trying that. Oh, never mind. They'll just jump over the wall completely.
Just do some gymnastics.
Vi's grasp of this game is really impressive, honestly. Like, I think Wyrm has also picked it up very quickly and lost a lot of time to menuing. So looks further behind than they actually would be. But Vi's grasp in particular, like, Vi has gone through screens in one try that I know I would be sat for 10 minutes suffering
Yeah.
through.
Like, I am impressed with Vi currently, with Wyrm as well, because it does they have grasped this game, and it doesn't look like an easy game either. Like,
no, for sure. Well, Wyrm through Penguin, which I think means they're on the same stage again. Oh, never mind.
never mind.
They would have been on the same stage for a second there.
Oh, Vi getting the shortcut.
Oh.
It's a very small gap, but it's a nice shortcut to get.
Doesn't look like it did a lot, just because there was a way through that on the next screen. Oh, that is... yeah, okay. And by dropping backwards into the screens, they would have skipped. The bouncy stick game is cleaning the system. I think this one's really cool.
It is a
genre.
Really,
I felt like we were in for a good time the second the sheet said genre pogo, because that's kind of fascinating. But also, this is like a really clever game. I don't know. I really like this. Oh, so the bubbles are determined by the direction you enter the water in. It isn't like one side is always the jet in the water. It's whichever side enters last is the jet.
So you are always heading forwards.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Like, it makes sense as well. God, Vi, look at this! Look at this! There's no way I would have.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have grasped that kind of jump
that quickly either.
And this time we have Wyrm being a kind of slow, cautious one here. That
I think Vi's in the last stage.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, Fish was 8, so and that's the one that Wyrm's in now. And I'm guessing this stage, looking at it already, is going to use a few of each of the mechanics we've seen already, and just kind of overlap them all in a bunch of different ways. Yeah, there's the water section. Into another fan room, where you need to specifically turn to lose height at certain points.
Oh,
jeez.
We have water blocks in midair.
nearly clipped it, but not quite. Okay. Wyrm onto stage 9. But I gotta assume Vi is nearly done with 10.
Hmm.
And then some ice skating up to the exit. I just gotta get some precision. Oh, not go into the water again. Gotta get some precision to get over this gap here, which shouldn't be too difficult for them. Yep, sure enough.
Yep.
There we go. Oh, that is. Oh, oh wow.
It nearly worked.
So the left is easier because you have that extra wall to kind of bounce off to
Yeah.
gain some height. But that doesn't mean you can't go up the right, and I, yeah, nearly did. And does, and
Oh.
can't make it land! It doesn't look like much of a shortcut for what it's worth. I would not bother with this
Yeah.
one.
If you find it easier to climb up that other side, though, then you go for the other side.
The left is far easier for sure, though. That extra wall there just means that you can get a bit of an extra bounce into your jump, and just kind of climb the way that Vi was earlier. And Wyrm entering the final stage here, so a fair few screens between them, but they are both on the final stage.
I makes it up the shortcut.
And makes
And
it
it's-
out of the dragon.
Ooh.
And that is it.
That is it.
That is our third and final game going to Vi. Advancing
Oh, wow.
2-1. This was a really cool set of games.
I'm
love
glad
how
we
this
got
has played
set.
out.
I'm glad we got this set.
For sure, yeah. Alrighty, and welcome Vi. GG.
GG.
Hello. That was my kind of game. Hell yeah.
I did say, like, towards the start in particular, there was a point where I was like, this is like a weird puzzle platformer-y kind of game with weird mechanics. Vi is going to click with this.
It's well, I mean, I said this in the race room before. I was like, the description of this game is giving me some major getting over it vibes. And honestly, I was completely right with that. It was like the exact same kind of thing. Yeah, like you have to assess the situation, you have to be smart, you have to realize the control you do have over the game, the control you don't have over the game. And yeah, it was just wow. Have to be. Sometimes you go out of control and you lose some progress, but you have to just reset your mind and go, it's okay, we'll just try again, and we learn from our mistake and do it a little differently this time.
Some of the rooms that you were doing, like with how your grasp of the controls, you were doing them first time, and I know Yoshi was saying that it would take her.
I'd have been
Ages,
stuck
yeah.
in some of those for a long, long time. There were some that looked absolutely ridiculous to watch, and I think the biggest difference here as well is like how quickly you grasped the kind of back and forth climbing when you had like
Yeah.
two walls kind of near each other and you were just like climbing up them in a second. There was one screen in particular, I think it was the end of the stage that was called Rhino, that looked nothing like a rhino.
Yeah.
but you had like 4 different segments almost of like gradually like it was just all 4 like vertical walls that got gradually bigger as you went through them. And you got through it maybe second try. Wyrm ended up going backwards twice and took like a good few minutes on that stage. And honestly, between that and just like Wyrm spamming through the menus and having to menu out every time to pick the next stage. Up until a point, it was like for the first 4 or 5. But yeah, I don't want to say that would have been enough to be like the full difference, because honestly, I don't think it would have been. You clicked through this so quickly that yeah, I don't think. I think your grasp of the game was showcased in those kinds of rooms, but the fact that you grasped the game that quickly just kind of dictated everything about this race.
Wyrm, you don't want to get stuck in this room. I flew through this room, and I was like, I'm glad that I got through it so fast, because I don't know how I would do this if.
You'll notice the
if I got into
timer
this situation.
on the restream has stopped. Wyrm is done. Has had enough.
Yeah.
We are joined by Wyrm as well. GG's.
GG's.
GG. I don't know that I could have gotten past that last level.
Yeah, I got lucky and got like with the momentum from the top room, just got the perfect angle. I was saying, like, I don't know if I could have done that if I didn't get it first try, and like you're now demonstrating that basically. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, I like honestly, I don't really know what to say. That felt like it was about as good a game as you could have rolled there, Vi.
Yeah. I agree. But I mean, Wyrm got to the final stage. I was almost expecting, like, I was getting the big head, like, I wonder if Wyrm's like 2 stages behind or something. But it doesn't look like that was the case. So at least there was some.
Yeah,
well, I actually have no idea. I could not hit the next stage button.
You like I figured at first it was like you were just kind of clicking through as quickly as possible and ended up just repeating the stage, because it defaults to restart stage, which is really silly.
No, my mouse just didn't work. Like, it has something to do with the fact that the resolution kept changing on me.
Right.
I could not hit the next stage button. Like, it literally would not register.
Yeah, this is okay. You know
Yeah,
what?
because
I'm
you
gonna
got
go back
it
into that
a
room.
couple of times, but it was a couple of times. But yeah, like there was one point in particular, I think it was like stages 7 and 8, where Vi was like a full level ahead, and the fact that you like pulled it back that much towards the end was definitely something. But it just, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta be honest. Like, Wyrm, the way you played this, I feel like if I had been racing you in this one, it would have been an incredibly close race where you would have ended up just about beating me, probably. But like, I don't get it, Vi. Your grasp of this game was something else.
Yeah, it's that experience playing Getting Over It, I guess, because it is the same, like, it is the same mentality that you have to have, I guess, or it feels very similar. But yeah, I'm trying to find out whether you can do this.
I think in that room you just reset.
Yeah, maybe you just reset.
I don't know. I feel like there was a way, like the way that Wyrm's going for at the end, where you kind of do very
you have
narrow.
to get a little lucky. I think if you spin it into a horizontal at the right time, you can do it.
Yeah, probably.
Although that jump you just did where you hit the ceiling, it does look like you could carry that momentum around the whole room and bounce up potentially as well.
Yeah, maybe.
This is an interesting little game for sure. Well, there you go. If you can get out the top exit, you can definitely...
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what I just did, but... Yeah.
Maybe just enough vertical momentum.
But yeah, couple of really interesting games. I feel like it's interesting that we got 3 very actiony games here, but all very different actiony games here. I guess, like, is there any, like, what were your thoughts on the games as a whole, like, as a group of games?
I mean, it was pretty diverse, I suppose, but more on the action side of things than the puzzle side of things. Although I guess this is sort of a little bit puzzly. The last game, yeah. I mean, I didn't mind them too much. So, yeah, definitely, like, people have gotten a worse set of games in this tournament. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I had looked at some of the other games that were being played. That paper airplane game looked really fun.
Oh yeah. There's definitely been a couple of, like, interesting games recently, both some that are very well known and some that are just, like, actually just really good. Which feels like a bit of a departure from the groups. It's just variants, it's the same list for the whole thing. I say that. Winds of Revenge, the paper plane game, was actually added partway through because Drew submitted that one. But yeah, there's definitely been some kind of variance with it, and I feel like we've just somehow rolled into, you know, Super Monkey Ball Jr. and Croc and Sonic 3D, and now these in kind of the recent rounds. But yeah, definitely not the worst game.
Pretty interesting as well. I like
Wait,
tank controls. I don't have a problem with tank controls.
It's kind of an awkward one because, like, it's like tank controls, but you don't, like, it's not tank in the way Katamari is, it's tank in the way that, like, you have left and right and then, like, forward and back.
Oh, RC car controls.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so for the bracket, Vi, that puts you into winners finals.
Amazing.
Waiting for the winner of Chimp and Mario. And Wyrm, for you, that does mean you're gonna have to face off against Majarkin again.
Yep.
You already took a 1-0, so I guess gotta have a little bit of confidence going into the best of 3.
I mean, Majarkin's definitely good. I just need to, once again, I would have liked, I think, an FPS game in this round, but I have to pray for not an FPS game in the next round.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting that everyone kind of has their reputations at this point of, like, what they're good and bad at. You didn't get any puzzle games in this round, which was definitely the reputation that Vi built up from the groups. Whereas Wyrm, I feel like you're a little bit of, like, a jack of all trades at this point. It's like, anything is fine as long as it's not what your opponent is best at.
Right. I can pick up games quickly, but I'm bad at like doing essentially tight controls. Like, that's why I'm always afraid of the Game Boy, PSP, those type of platformers, because usually they require you to be pretty nimble. I also get wrecked when the death is really, really bad.
Yeah, fair.
I like to smash my face into things. That's, like, how I play games.
Yeah, I did notice that you play very aggressively compared to Vi, who plays a bit more conservatively, a bit more safely.
I will say, I agree, but this game did kind of flip it on its head a little bit.
Yeah. it's sometimes being aggressive, is brilliant, but sometimes taking things a bit slower can be just as good. And I think that's something that was proven by the 3-game set.
Right. Yeah. I think I got lucky being aggressive in the first game.
Mm.
And then the second game, I really needed to not take all of those deaths. If I had played it slower, I think it would have been a closer race.
I definitely know that during the group stage that came up a lot because Riley is the other person who has a reputation for being very aggressive with his play. And there were 2 platformers almost back to back where he won one of them but then came second in the other because deaths were more costly in the second. So yeah, there's definitely that kind of factor of how much do you get punished for your deaths, and also how difficult is the game. If the objective is like long but fairly easy, then you're less likely to die. You can get away with being more aggressive, so yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts on this one? Anything on the bracket, or?
Well, see you in finals.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Fighting talk.
Is the lower bracket now also still best of 3, or are they best of 1? Okay.
Yeah, from the round you're in onwards, it's best of 3 still. So there's one match tomorrow, which is Riley versus Jamie, and that's the last best of 1
Gotcha.
for the whole tournament.
Alrighty, exciting.
Awesome. In that case, I guess we'll wrap things up here. So, as per usual, and I want to hope by this stage of the tournament everyone is, but if you're not, make sure you're following the 2 runners. Some incredible games going on here, so we had some really good races. A big thank you to Sky for joining on commentary. This has been a pretty interesting mix of games, a pretty interesting set to commentate, so I'm glad you could join for it.
I'm glad that you were happy to have me join you on this one.
Yeah. And yeah, as a reminder, so tomorrow at it is, let me double check my times, 8 p.m. Central European, 2 p.m. Eastern. We will have Riley versus Jamie as our remaining round 2 losers bracket match. Winner of that will move on to face the loser of Chimp and Mario, which will be happening on the 18th, on Wednesday. So looking forward to that one. And I guess we can figure out who to raid. I guess Mario is on no mic apparently today because he's ill, but I raided Mel yesterday for Skyward Sword, so it's only fair that today we pass it on to his co-op partner. So, Skyward Sword Rando, they've been practicing for the co-op tournament they've been doing. It's just a solo race on Mario's end today, but go check in, go say hi, wish him luck. Obviously, the usual no race spoilers and whatever, but thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. Thank you again, everyone, for racing, providing comms for the race, supporting everything, and yeah, hopefully catch people tomorrow for the race then. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.